Hello Leo, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with 40 years experience in the business now, over 30,000 clients worldwide. It's my pleasure, Leo, to welcome you to this particular video on your cycles and predictions for 2015. Now, what I'm going to do for you first of all is tell you a few things about yourself. That's always a lot of fun. Personality analysis from an astrological perspective, and then I'm going to look at the movements of the faster moving bodies, the Sun, Venus, Mars, through the houses of your horoscope, and also Jupiter and Saturn. So I'll be putting it all on a timeline for you on a week by week basis, Leo, so that you've got an idea of the type of events that you'll be experiencing from the transits of the planets through the houses of your horoscope during 2015. There's two types of horoscopes that astrologers can do. If we don't have your time of birth, we can do, or your date of birth, we can do transits through the houses of your horoscope, and they're quite reliable as a guide. And then from your own personal horoscope, we can do something that's much more precise and specific and accurate, and that's from your progressions. And I'll talk more about them as I go on further in the reading. They're available to you through my services as well. But first of all, just relax, Leo, and enjoy the journey here with me. You're a very self-conscious person, tremendously aware. You're like the lion, the symbol of your sign that sits on the top of the hill and looks down over the herd below, picking out which one is weak, which one is able to be an easy prey, and so forth, and tremendously aware, just royally and regally sitting there taking it all in, and then all of a sudden, boom, springs into action and down there to pick out the weak one of the herd that has to be culled. So you're like that. You're a tremendously aware person, tremendously self-conscious. And you're very meticulous when it comes to financial activities. You keep records of everything specifically and carefully. And you do enjoy music very much, especially whilst you're driving. In communication with people, Leo, you're always trying to find harmony and balance. You don't like rocking the boat, and you don't like upsetting people, and so you like to keep things harmonious, especially in those close to you, like relatives and neighbours. You enjoy social activities with them, and you could even strike up a relationship, a romantic attachment with someone that you either meet through a neighbour or you meet through a relative. Now, you live near the water at some time in your life, Leo, and in the later part of your life, and what you've got to bear in mind here too is that I don't have your birth details in front of me for this reading, so therefore some of the things that I portray can be for the past and not a part of your life anymore. Some can be for the future and therefore difficult to relate to. So maintain an open mind towards the things that I talk about here, and remember that it's a lifetime situation that I'm analysing here for you. So you live near the water. There's some secrets about your family, Leo, that is something to do with money or taxes or finances of some description, where they confide in you and you've got to keep those sort of secrets, or else it's something to do with scandal, perhaps to do with that person who's in your family. So there's something there to do with family that's a bit of a secret. Now, you do travel widely, and you do like to travel. You're interested in sports. I'd say that you've been playing sports, especially in your youth. You would be very interested in sports, and vigorous social activities appeal to you. And you do love travel. You love adventure. And so any sort of thing that's recreationally gives you a sense of adventure is naturally appealing to you. You gravitate towards a government job or a job of responsibility and authority, and you have good management ability and skills as far as the job is concerned. You do take particular care also to do with diet and exercise. Now, as far as relationships are concerned, Leo, you're not one to conform there. So you possibly get involved in a relationship, live with your spouse or your partner before getting married and that sort of thing. So you couldn't care less about what's regarded as the norm in society, and so you do like to be different. And you form a relationship actually under very unusual circumstances. It's a 1 in a million chance that you would meet that person under those circumstances, but that's the type of relationship that you have. And there can be something there that's rather strange about the relationship as well, like they can be very much taller than you or very much shorter than you, or else they come from a different nationality or something like that. So that'll do as far as that's concerned anyway, Leo. So what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to put it all on a timeline for you as these planets move through the houses of your horoscope. I'll tell you where they start off, and we're starting off in mid-February. So we'll start off with the location of these planets and where they are, what house that they're sitting in, and the type of events that portrays in your life and engenders in your life, Leo. And then I'll look at when they move into a different house, what type of events that brings about. So it's all on a timeline for you on a week-by-week basis, okay? Now, on the 20th of February, the Sun is in the 8th house of your horoscope, Leo, which means that you, for the next 4 weeks, you're very introspective and reflective. There's a lot of depth going on inside of yourself, a stimulation of your sex drive, no doubt, and you're very, very interested in the mysteries of life and life after death and things like that. So you're very introspective, wanting to bring about change within yourself through that introspection and reflection. On the 21st of February, Mars moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, and it remains there for about 2 or 3 weeks, Leo. With Mars in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's potential for conflicts with in-laws, arguments and conflicts with people about philosophical and religious differences, and potential for accidents whilst travelling, so be careful with any travel. 22nd of February, Venus moves into the 9th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks, seeing a lot of social activities with in-laws, a lot of social activities involving travel perhaps, could be a journey overseas, social activities with foreign people. The next move that we have is on the 18th of March, Leo, when Venus moves into the 10th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks, bringing plenty of social activities with parents if they play a prominent part in your life, and also a lot of social activities with people in business that you're in business with or in the career with. And it's very favourable for expansion in business and very favourable for you generally to do with social activities in regard to business and career. On the 21st of March, the Sun moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, and the Sun is constant and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's potential for travel. Adult education comes to the fore. A tremendous amount of social involvements with in-laws there potentially. On the 1st of April, Leo, the Mars moves into the 10th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks, introducing a lot of extra energy into the career and business side of things, but potential there for conflicts and stresses connected with such, and also tensions and conflicts potentially there with parents. On the 12th of April, Venus moves into the 11th house of your horoscope, Leo, and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Venus in the 11th house of your horoscope, it's a very good time socially through group activities like club activities. Other people's children play a prominent part, perhaps through your children. And Venus in the 11th house is very good for the formation of new friendships and plenty of social activities involving friends. On the 21st of April, Leo, the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks, for 30 days. On the 21st of April, Leo, the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 10th house of your horoscope, there's ambition comes to the fore. A lot of extra dealings with government departments and socially with parents, and it's a very good time for focusing your personality drive upon expansion in business and upliftment and elevation and promotion and advancement in your career. Now on the 8th of May, Leo, Venus moves into the 12th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Venus in the 12th house of your horoscope, Leo, there's a potential there for 2 or 3 weeks of getting involved in a secret romantic involvement, if you're in the market for such. And there's secret worries to do with money matters and secret worries to do with relationships and love. On the 12th of May, Mars moves into the 11th house of your horoscope, Leo, and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Mars in the 11th house, there's potential for accidents involving friends, accidents involving other people's children, and stresses and tensions through friends and other people's children. Group activities of a very vigorous nature, such as sporting affairs and things like that. On the 22nd of May, Leo, the Sun moves into the 11th house of your horoscope for 30 days. With the Sun in the 11th house of your horoscope, there's a focus upon group activities, club activities, formation of friendships, and a lot of social involvements with friends and other people's children. On the 6th of June, Leo, Venus moves into the 1st house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks, you're blessed. You've got a great deal more affection in your life, giving of affection, receiving of affection. You're very outgoing in your social life. It's good for personal interest and initiatives, as if you've got luck on your side. And it's a very favourable stars for you. If you're in the market for a relationship, a romantic attachment, then the next 2 or 3 weeks is very favourable to do so. On the 22nd of June, the Sun moves into the 12th house of your horoscope, and for 30 days you can be your own worst enemy. Secret worries, insecurity, self-undoing, self-sabotage, but also a potential there for solitude and a desire for solitude and introspection and reflection that comes from solitude and an aspiration toward the divine. On the 25th of June, Mars moves into the 12th house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks, Leo, you've got potential for self-undoing, secret involvements if you're a female, and potential there for getting involved in the secret activities connected with your sex drive, male and female. On the 20th of July, Venus moves into the 2nd house of finances and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks, bringing a boost financially, but definitely a desire, Leo, to spend money, okay? On the 23rd of July, the Sun moves into the 1st house of your horoscope, and for 30 days focuses your consciousness upon personal self-initiated efforts, and you'll have a lot of extra energy going through your chakras and a tremendous urge to commence and start new projects and ideas. A sunny disposition during that 30 days. On the 26th of July, Venus goes retrograde. Now, when a planet is in an apparent backward motion, they never really go backwards, but they appear to go backwards depending on the motion of the Earth in relation to that planet. And Venus is in a retrograde motion, in an apparent backward motion. Now, when a planet goes retrograde in an apparent backward motion, Leo, it impacts negatively not upon the house that it's sitting in, but upon the house that that planet rules. And Venus rules 2 houses in your horoscope, the 3rd and the 10th. So therefore it brings secret worries to do with motor vehicles, not a good time for contracts and agreements. Social involvements with relatives and neighbours can go awry. And the 10th house of your horoscope is to do with career, business, ambitions and matters relating to parents. So they can go a bit askew during the next 2 or 3 weeks as well while it's retrograde. Now on the 1st of August, Venus in its retrograde motion goes back into the 1st house of your horoscope, but it's not going to bring a benefit for personal interest because it's still retrograde, so it's still impacting negatively upon those areas that I've mentioned. On the 9th of August, Leo, Mars moves into the first house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks you've got a lot of extra energy going through your chakras and stimulating enthusiasm for your ideas in life, and potential there for a lot of stress and tension though. But a lot of enthusiasm for new initiatives. Just don't be impulsive, that's all. Now on the 24th of August, the Sun moves into the second house of your horoscope, Leo, and remains there for 30 days, seeing a focus upon your sense of security. Financial matters come to the fore, and you'll make some purchases, some major purchases during that month. On the 8th of September, Venus starts going direct, and this time it's in the first house of your horoscope going direct, so it brings a blessing for you socially, romantically, and to do with personal self-initiated efforts. On the 24th of September, Leo, the Sun moves into the third house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days, seeing a lot more social involvements with relatives and neighbours. Very strong stimulation of your mind, and you seem to have a sunny disposition during that time, and plenty of social activities with relatives and neighbours. On the 26th of September, Leo, Mars moves into the second house of finances, and you'll have a lot of extra energy to put into financial pursuits and a lot of extra enthusiasm to do with financial pursuits for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but you'll also perhaps be impulsive. So just make sure that you're not impulsive with money, and there can be stresses and tensions around the back of the neck as well. On the 9th of October, Venus moves into the second house of finances, and for the next 2 or 3 weeks brings a boost financially for you, and you'll definitely want to be making some major purchase. On the 24th of October, the Sun moves into the fourth house of your horoscope for 30 days. And with it there in the fourth house, Leo, there's a lot more of a focus upon family and domestic matters, a lot more social activities revolving around the home, and a lot more social involvements with parents if they play a prominent part in your life. On the 9th of November, Leo, Venus moves into the third house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Venus in the third house, you're blessed in life through contracts and agreements. It's a good time for buying and selling things. Favourable social involvements with relatives and neighbours. During that time, you'll be outgoing in your affections with a distinct love of music during that time. On the 13th of November, Mars moves into the third house of your horoscope for 2 or 3 weeks. And with Mars in the third house, there's potential for accidents on the road. Drive carefully, therefore. And impulsiveness in speech can get you into trouble, so be very careful during that time, because you can be rather dominant and assertive in your nature during that period. On the 23rd of November, Leo, the Sun moves into the fifth house of your horoscope, and for 30 days sees a lot more focus upon children, if they play a prominent part in your life and their activities. A tremendous amount of focus upon love and romance if you're in the market for a relationship. Very good stars for you socially, generally, to get out to restaurants and places of amusement and stuff like that. On the 6th of December, Venus moves into the fourth house of your horoscope, Leo, and with Venus in the fourth house of your horoscope for 2 or 3 weeks, there's a great deal of love for family and the domestic side of life, social involvements around the home, and to do with parents. Now on the 23rd of December, the Sun moves into the sixth house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days, seeing a focus upon the job, social activities connected with the job, social activities there revolving around domestic pets, perhaps if you have domestic pets. Also very pleasant stars for you to do with work, and it's a good time for job interviews, okay? Now on the 30th of December, the last one for the year, Venus moves into the fifth house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks, Leo. With Venus in the fifth house of your horoscope, you're very outgoing in your affections, with children especially. It's a very good time for you romantically and socially if you're in the market for a romantic attachment, and you'll be lucky to do with speculation and gambling. Now I'm going to look at the movements of Jupiter and Saturn through the houses of your horoscope. Jupiter is slow moving, and in this particular year only moves through 2 houses of your horoscope, so I'll tell you what's going on there. And Saturn remains in only 1 house during the whole of the year, and I'll tell you what impact that has upon you. Now Jupiter starts this particular period off on the 1st of February in a retrograde motion, Leo, and when a planet is retrograde, as I've said before, it impacts negatively upon the houses that it rules. And Jupiter rules the 5th house and the 8th house of your horoscope, so therefore you're going to experience secret worries and bad judgment. Jupiter is the embodiment of the second ray of love wisdom, Leo, so therefore wisdom departs when Jupiter is retrograde, and it impacts negatively upon the houses that it rules, so you'll have bad judgment there potentially for matters relating to those 2 houses. And the 5th house is the house of children, so bad judgment to do with decisions and choices revolving around children. Romance, love on the social side of life, so therefore potential for bad judgment. Secret romantic involvements come into that bad judgment area. And relationships that can be formed during that cycle will not be in your own best interests, okay? The 8th house is the house of joint finances, and so therefore matters relating to joint finances, you can make bad decisions between you and your partner if you have one. Also matters relating to introspection, reflection, and the sexual side of your nature and the secret side of your nature to do with your sexuality, and also aspects of your nature that you're trying to get rid of and clear up are going to be affected. So you'll slip back into old habit patterns that you thought that you'd outgrown and that you wanted to get rid of. And also joint finances, you can have bad judgment as a pair in making decisions and choices about where money's going. Now on the 9th of April, Jupiter goes direct, and it's in the 1st house of your horoscope, so therefore it impacts positively upon matters relating to your 1st house, which are self-initiated efforts and personal initiatives that come from your own creativity and your own wisdom and your own ingenuity and your own initiative, okay? So with Jupiter in the 1st house of your horoscope going direct, it stays there in the 1st house of your horoscope going direct until the 12th of August. So between the 9th of April and the 12th of August, Leo, you're blessed. You're blessed. You could travel overseas sometime in that period with facility. You can commence and start new projects, and you'll have the universe on your side as if you're blessed as far as getting things going and having luck on your side. And then on the 12th of August, Jupiter moves into the 2nd house of finances, Leo, and remains there for the following 12 months. Now with Jupiter in the 2nd house of finances, you've got a boost financially. Luck on your side financially, money comes in from unexpected sources, and very good stars for purchasing things and things like that. Now to look at Saturn. Saturn is in the 5th house of your horoscope during the whole of 2015. With Saturn being in the 5th house of your horoscope, you've already felt the impact of this over the last 3 or 4 months already. Saturn in the 5th house brings frustrations to do with the social side of your life. It brings frustrations to do with children, perhaps sickness of a child, frustrations and breakups in relationships and things like that. So planned activities socially get put off or obstructed or delayed and things like that. And Saturn is retrograde in your horoscope between March and August. And after August it starts going direct again, so it will impact upon the 5th house. But whilst Saturn is retrograde between March and August, it's impacting negatively upon the 6th house of your horoscope, which is the house of the job, employment and health, and also 7th house connected with partner, spouse and relationships, legal matters. So it's not a good time for commencing and starting legal processes or anything like that. Matters relating to your partner can cause concern. There can be breakups in relationships. They can be very hard to get on with during that time. And there's frustrations and difficulties for you in any sort of joint activities with a partner in some way, shape or form. And that's as far as I go for you, Leo, as far as your transiting influences are concerned. Now, the way that transits work is that they are transiting influences, transitory, therefore. So it doesn't mean that those events are going to happen, but things are flavoured in that direction, what you might say, Leo, so that you've got the potential and the impulse within yourself to create reality in accordance and compliance with that type of condition that I've portrayed there for you. But by being forewarned, you can change it, no doubt at all. Now, where we get into really looking at the major events in your life that come from your birth details, not something to do with other Leos, but something that comes from your birth details, and that is to do with progressions. Now, progressions, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about how they work, but progressions are a plan that you've set out for yourself prior to jumping into incarnation, Leo. So what happens is this, is that the movements of the planets by transit after your first breath, we look, if we want to know where they are at your age of 30, say for example, your progressions, we look to where the planets were by transit after your first breath, 30 days after your first breath. So in other words, 1 day's movement in transit is equal to 1 year by progression. So we want to know where your progress planets are, which is a roadmap in your life. If we want to know where your progress planets are at the age of 30, all we have to do is look at where they were 30 days after you took your first breath. If we want to know where they were when you were 45 years of age, then we only have to look at where they were 45 days after your birth, okay? So these are what's called progressions. And what it means is that in the first 100 days, say for example, you plan to live to 100, in the first 100 days after your birth, your roadmap is set out in life with major and minor events in your life that are going to happen. These are events that you've planned for yourself, and they involve changes in residence, financial windfalls, problems financially, accidents on the road, family matters, death of parents, the birth of children, marriage, relationships, breakup of relationships, changes in your job, health crises, formation of relationships and breakups of relationships, death of those around you, journeys overseas, adult education, going into business, advancement in your career, loss of career, failure in business, friendships formed, breakups in friendships, bouts in hospital and so forth. All of these things are set out by you prior to jumping into incarnation, Leo, because you wanted to experience certain events and conditions in your life in order for you to be able to grow and reach and stretch and develop qualities, principles and values within yourself that you felt that you were lacking in. So all of these impacts upon your consciousness are designed to be able to help you to develop qualities, principles and values that your higher self feels that you were lacking in prior to coming into this incarnation, okay? And that's what I'm prepared to do for you. Now, most astrologers will charge between $60 and $150 to do your progressions over the next 2 or 3 years, and depending on their expertise and their experience in the game and so on and so forth. I'm prepared to do your progressions for you over the next 30 months free of charge. Why do I do this for you? Because I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you to understand what the roadmap is that you've set out for yourself in the next 30 months, okay? So looking at the next 30 months for you with your progressions, I need your birth details. So go to my website, it'll pop up on the screen shortly if it hasn't already, and submit your birth details, and then I'll be able to do your horoscope for you and send it to you with your progressions over the next 30 months, telling you the minor and major impacts that are going to happen in your life, including all of those things that I've mentioned earlier. So it's nice to have this opportunity, Leo, to be able to talk with you and to be of service to you in this way. Now subscribe to my videos because I'm pumping out new videos all the time. Look, all of us, Leo, are on the path of life. All of us have been given the gift of eternal life by God and Goddess. They love you and they know your name and they want you to become all that you can be and more. And my videos, when you go to my website, I send you also with your first horoscope, I send you the 12 CDs out of my first book, What Really Matters, on astrology, meditation and reincarnation, to help you to understand the nature of reality and your place in that reality. And then once you've finished them, you can go on into my intensives 2 and 3 from my second book, Coming Home, An Eternal Journey, that goes into things a lot more in depth. And there's all my videos that are sent to you as well, the links to the videos and so forth, so you can look at them and have a good time there, expanding your understanding and learning how you can become a magical being to create the reality in accordance and compliance with your conscious choice, rather than, as most people are doing, through their subconscious choices. So it's nice to have this opportunity, Leo, to be able to talk with you, and I look forward to working further with you should you decide to submit your birth details. I thank you for your attentiveness. Thank you.